Welcome back to A Corporate Time. So I went to the doctor yesterday, and Daniel, you saw me bitching about.
Well, I know you don't like doctors, and so when you told me, did you notice that I kind of shut down and I didn't ask a lot of questions? Because I knew you don't like that. Well, I'm trying to give you what you need, right?
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna ask, hey, so what are they doing, or do you know what they? Is it gonna help it? Is it gonna, like I had a lot of questions. But I know you're not the biggest fan of going in for procedures. That's not really the Tom Van way.
Yeah.
I get less now than I used to be, but I think most people could label me as a procedural man. I've been into a doctor now in 100 times, and with my hypochondria, I go a lot more than you do. But I'm better. I'm better. You just don't ever go. So for you to go, something must be bothering you bad.
I do the standard once a year doctor visit. Well, I have to go a bunch to get drugs.
But you do what my dad did. You do what my dad did. You only go if you have to go, right?
Yeah. Well, I have to. They make me go every 3 months to get another Adderall refill. Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Do telemedicine like. Dr. Chan Latte, like just telemedicine me and just give me my Adderall.
Well, once I sit there. It doesn't really make any sense. I have to do it for my anxiety medication as well, and it's weird because it's a time suck, man. It's at least an hour.
Also, I hit the doctor up because I'm trying to get my full value because I got to pay $90, right, every time I go in. And it's just literally, I sit down there like, still want it? And I'm like, yes. It's the same as the weed. And but then I'm like, well, I'm going to ask the doctor questions the entire time so I can get some more value out of my.
That's not like you at all.
Well,
do you have to force yourself to ask questions, or did you prepare ahead of time?
It's not about me. I just ask questions about like things that I argue with Crystal about. Like for instance, she's convinced that like when the kids have a strep throat or whatever, that she has to dishwash the kids' toothbrushes after every use because she's like, you'll re-give yourself strep throat.
And it'll say you'll have forever. I've heard that. Yeah, you'll never get rid of it. You'll have strep throat for life. I've heard this.
And I'm like, nah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
I've never put my toothbrush in. Well, first of all, I've never put my toothbrush in my mouth, let alone in the dishwasher. That's insanity.
Anyway, so I ask all this.
So you use it as it's a modified version of gripes.
I'm like, the doctor's sitting here.
It's
a
modified version of Tom Van's gripes, but you do it with the doctor.
So anyway, I got this trigger thumb that's developed.
Which sounds really cool.
It's not cool.
But it does sound cool.
It basically, people get trigger finger too.
Have you been shooting guns with your thumb again?
And it sounds different than it is. Basically, it means that when you bend your fingers, they get stuck in the bent position.
Put a little grease in there.
And then to open them, it's painful, and then it pops open and and
it's like the worst Jack in the Box.
It's caused by your tendon.
Tendons.
Oh, I guess it's one tendon, right?
Why are you putting a T on the end of it?
What?
You're doing like you do with surgeon. It's surgeon and tendon. It's not sergeant and tendon.
And the sheath that they slide through, it gets inflamed.
Why do you choose the hardest words? No, I'm kidding.
Listen. So anyway.
So how is it now? So it was red hot though, right? Like you couldn't even. It was hurting you.
Well, it just like I'll show Twitch so my thumb just like when it pops in and out.
That's weird.
And every time I bend it, it's like an extreme jolt of electricity pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I figured that the doctor was gonna I go back because he gave me like oral steroids and like a bunch of other stuff, which is not it's not fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I was like, what if I took them all?
Oh, yeah.
And it worked out.
Pumped up. Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Because there's different types of steroids.
Yeah.
Plus, like if I know, plus everything I know about taking drugs is from the Hims Corporation, and on anything oral is weaker than if you're jabbing it.
Yeah.
You got to jab it.
Oh
dude.
yeah. You
when
got to get the needle.
Oral steroids, you said no. I'm not taking that weak ass.
Yeah.
Give me the jab because
it's like testosterone.
Oral,
don't take any of the.
No,
you
don't take
got the
oral.
straight needle.
Also ketamine. I've been looking at that. I've been asking all my drug friends. I'm like, I want to do this ketamine ketamine and abuse it. And they're like, don't do the oral stuff. You can't even feel it. I'm like, all right, get the jab. They're like, you got to get the infusion. It's got to be in you.
Yeah.
You got to get the Matthew Perry.
When you do
R.I.P.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Come sit in my hot tub.
Exactly. I will. I'll come sit in your hot tub because we're friends. Boom. Took it full circle. Thank you.
So anyway, I thought the doctor was, because it's all just, I don't know if it bothers anybody else out there, but I every time I go to the doctor, I look around, I'm like, this is all just a money scam.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a racket.
it's
just a racket.
all just a racket to bilk my insurance.
You sound like America. Keep this up. You could be a candidate. This is good.
Yeah. Everything.
You dress like Fetterman. You're like real sloppy.
And I'm like, and I've had to go multiple times. Like the first I go,
I think our listeners can hear that you hate this as you're telling us this.
Oh, I hate it.
I think
so
they
much.
can hear this.
Yeah, but
And I think a lot of people, I think there are more people like you than like me. Like, I don't mind going to the doctor, but I know you hate it. And I think most people are like you. I'm going to actually go 65%. I would say that most people in our audience, normally they're a Tom or a Dan, right?
Yeah,
I think you win this one. I think most people, the dentist, the doctor, they hate it.
Well, you don't like going there. You're forced
No, I don't
by
like to go
your
there. You're right.
anxiety.
Yeah, that is different. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. That is a little different. Like,
you're,
I don't
you're
love
forced
going
to go
there.
so they can confirm that
Relief.
you're fine.
I get,
Relief.
what do I
Yeah,
get?
yeah.
3 weeks of relief?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah,
call
yeah.
it? 2.5 weeks
Yeah,
of relief, and then I start up again?
Yeah,
it's cyclical.
Because you fear the bad news the whole time you make your appointment.
Yeah.
You're like, they're going to tell me I'm dead.
But it is the process. But hold
You're
on.
dead,
And
sir.
you know this part too. But it is the process of that first phone call to the receptionist, to putting it on the calendar, to getting it in the books.
Oh, yeah, it's coming. The relief is coming.
But it fixes it.
Yeah,
It does fix it.
Yeah. It's like when the doctor gives you your pain pills prescription, you already feel them.
Oh, yeah.
Even
Oh, my God.
before
I do that with beer.
It's like as soon as he runs you, you're like, I feel
I do that with beer.
Yeah.
Like, I can be driving here to get beer, and I feel the beer in me as I'm driving.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I was surprised when I went there, and then the doctor came in, and he's like, do you want the injection now? And I was like, oh, good. I'm like, I thought you were going to tell me this is a schedule for next week.
Yeah,
and
we talked
then
about
this
this.
$90, then I have to pay another.
Well, that's what mine was. Remember, I went to my hip doctor, and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, are you ready for your injections? And I'm like, yes, I am. And they're like, 1 month. And I'm like, wow!
Yeah, yours, I think, are a little more like
They did nothing.
invasive.
It did nothing.
Yeah, but like when you have a hip injections, it's a.
Well, it did
Did
nothing.
you have to take your pants off for that?
I was completely naked. You know what sucks, too? Is they make you get an erection. They don't do that. They don't do that. They don't do that.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Now I have no idea what the injection is.
Did they make you take your pants off?
No. I just
Okay.
lay down fully clothed, and then he's like, turn your hand over.
Does he hold your hand at all?
And then the whole thing took like 8 minutes, which I'm like,
wow, that's pretty cool.
which I'm like, this. I know they're
$35,000.
yeah, because I know you were bitching about your injections. I'm like, I know my insurance is gonna deny it, and I'm the $3,000. I just won't pay.
Well,
it.
I know what
just
mine
like
cost.
Daniel.
Yeah, my hips,
Yeah, yeah.
$38,000. It was $3,800.
Yeah. I
that
thought about
still, it went to. I let it go to collections, dude.
I thought about telling the doctor, like, I'm not gonna pay this if you try to charge me for this.
I let it go to collections. We had to because there's no other way to solve it now because insurance isn't paying it. So I had to cause a problem now.
So anyway, so it gives me, and I didn't do any research about what it is.
Good. You don't need to.
Or what?
That's
you
what
know.
doctors are for. Remember when you didn't have to do research? And now we can't do research because the internet's ruined. Great job, everybody.
So he does it, and then he's like, this should help it, whatever. And then so I was
Could
like,
help,
okay.
could not help. I don't know.
So-
What do I look like, a doctor?
So then I'm like, okay, cool. And then I'm like, well, I have my schedule to work out today. Can I work out? And he's like, no, you can't lift anything heavy for
Ever.
4
Again.
weeks. And I'm like, 4 weeks? And then he's like, yep. And he's like, all right, bye-bye. And then he leaves. And then
Why did they always go sit alone somewhere typing in the computer?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you can sit with me a little while.
So then I started getting mad because I'm like, what's the reason?
It takes a lot to get you mad.
I'm like, is he just telling me this because it's the generic
What'd you
thing
do?
they tell everybody that gets this procedure, no matter what?
Were
It's
you
a-
in there alone and the nurse
Yeah,
waiting for the
so-
nurse to come back in?
And then- so I'm already getting mad. I'm like, I'm not gonna not work out
Excuse
for
me,
4
sir.
weeks.
Sir.
And then so then the nurse comes in and like, all right, you ready?
Pineapple Man triathlon runner here. I would like
It's
to.
not even that. I just so So then I'm walking out, and the nurse is walking me out, and then the doctor's sitting at a computer.
Yeah, that's
like,
what they do.
5 feet away from me, in this room.
But they can't communicate to you now. They have to go through their nurses. That's the rule.
So then I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like,
you broke the third wall, dude. You're not allowed to break the third wall.
I'm like, can you explain to me why I can't work out, or like, can I do rowing or some other?
I hope the doctor said, tell him.
No, he didn't. So he could hear me.
No, he can't. I'm telling you, you can't.
I'm 5 feet away. He's got his back turned toward me. He's typing on a computer, but like I'm talking loud enough he can hear me. And then she's like, you know what? I'm gonna ask him. And then I'm like, well, he hears me. He's right there.
You're not allowed.
I can tap his back from where I'm standing. I'm like,
not allowed to ask questions.
And they're like, go
He's
back.
very busy right now.
They're like, go back to the room. I'm like, we don't need to do all this. Like, I need to go back to. So I go back to the room. I sit down.
Yeah, you're not allowed to break the third wall.
And then I hear her talking to him right outside. Like she's like, the patient wants to know if you're working. And then I hear him going, like he's bothered by it. And then he's like,
he was on his computer.
He's like, tell him, you can't work out 4 weeks. I already told him. And then she comes in, and then I got mad, right? So and then I have to start looking it up in the internet.
What did she tell you? The same thing? Did she goes, well, I just asked him, and he did say he already told you 4 weeks.
Yeah, and so I just decided I'm gonna ignore it.
Okay,
do whatever I want. But but I did get home, and then my the injection site was hurting, and I tried to do some working out. It hurt my hand.
Injection site? Why don't you just say where they stabbed me like everybody else?
And so then I got mad, and then it was Crystal's mom's birthday, and then we went to a Mexican restaurant, and then I just got ass-faced on margaritas.
Yeah, that'll fix your
I ate this giant burrito, and then I'm drinking margaritas, giant margaritas too.
Yeah, the big boys. Why did they serve them so big?
I don't know.
The margaritas.
Because they charge you $12 for them, and then I got 2 margaritas.
Oh, you did oh my God, you did a 24 ounces of freedom.
Yeah. Then I made a joke. I was like, 2 margaritas, you could peg me. I told that to the birthday dinner table.
You said that to Crystal's mom.
She didn't know the joke. I was like, I gotta hear the meme. And then I got home, and then the kids wanted the night scuba dive in the pool. So I started drinking White Claw.
What time is it?
Yeah. It's like 8:30 or 9. And they're like, we want a night scuba. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then
Come on out.
So they're in the pool scuba diving, and then I'm like, I can't get in there because I said I can't go into a hot tub for 24 hours.
But I thought you'd do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, I was a little. I am
Put a
concerned.
rubber glove on.
I've seen people get bad infections and almost kill them.
You got one in your neck.
So
you forget that you did get a bad infection in your neck and almost killed you, dude.
Yeah.
Because you were doing things you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
They're like, keep this clean and don't smoke. You smoke.
We also have a friend that got an infection after surgery that's really screwed him up.
Right.
And then they're all the infection is real, and that will sometimes get in your blood, and they're like, I'm dead.
Yeah,
no
coming back from that.
So even though
that's what happened to my mom, not to be morbid.
The infection.
Sepsis is a real thing that gets in your blood and kills you.
Yeah. So I didn't do that, but then I woke up this morning hungover. And still ran. Mad.
Were you mad? Yeah.
Oh, man. It felt like
garbage.
How was
your time? Bad?
Horrible.
Should have been okay, though, because a little bit of that adrenaline keeping you moving.
No. It was just, and then I was telling myself, I'm like, why did I get mad and then poison myself? And
it does work, though. I mean, if you are mad or if you're upset about something.
But it only temporarily helped me for a couple hours.
About 12 minutes for me.
And then I feel like garbage all day today. And I was like,
But I do love, out of all the drinks, out of all of the
margarita is the most fun for
me. The margarita is my drink. It's always been my drink.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a liquor person, other than I really, really like tequila. I very much enjoy it.
The margarita signifies a good time to me.
It's a party drink.
Yeah. If I have a margarita at a Mexican restaurant, I'm instantly having a good time.
Yeah. Better than any of your daiquiri. I'm not a daiquiri guy.
No.
That's just too thick, too gross, too sugary. Even though margaritas I know are very sugary or can be.
Yeah, but it's the salt and the tequila.
But
whatever,
I go no salt.
Oh, you go
I
no
go
salt.
Tequila on the rocks, no salt. I'd like to taste the tequila.
Well, yeah.
I don't. The salt is too much for me.
Yeah, like I don't really consume it. I just like the idea of having it.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
So good.
And I don't want to tell the waitress no salt because I think that what a P word would say.
See, I think that sounds like you're tougher. I think it sounds like I'm getting rid of the salt. Just give me the straight, like give me the drink. I don't need any of the accoutrement.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you don't need the decoration.
Yeah, I don't need your salt. I don't need that garbage. That's for tourists. Give me the. But I do like it when they bring you a little Corona in it.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And do you know that I've only had that one time?
What?
I've only had the margarita with the baby beer in it, the little asadito on the side or whatever it is. Yeah. Like, what happened to those? Do people still do those?
I think they just don't. They don't want the Corona beer. It just doesn't.
Or the shot on the side. Remember that when that was a thing?
Oh yeah.
Like you'd get a margarita, and then hanging off the side would be a novelty glass monkey shot glass. And then his whole body is filled with like a shot of tequila.
Yeah,
and you either
two shots.
Yeah, you either dump it in or you drink it,
Yeah. I'm like, you could just go ahead and put it in there from the start. I don't need the monkey.
I'm definitely a margarita guy, though. And I like the big ones. But if I had to do it, like there was a time when, this may be a little bit embarrassing, but there was a time when on the weekends, if it were football or something, I'd make a pitcher of margaritas.
Yeah.
And bring it out, and I'd drink the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's aggressive.
It's good.
That's aggressive.
It'll get you, though.
Oh, yeah.
It'll get you the next
creep
day.
up on you hard. You want to do a couple of voicemail messages here, buddy?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's try. I think you made Canadian Josh mad.
All right. That's good.
He very much...
I like doing that.
Yeah, he very much disagrees with you on the Facebook Marketplace, rather.
Hello, Tom and Dan. It's Canadian Josh. Tom, you were talking about selling or buying items on Facebook Marketplace, and I can confirm Facebook Marketplace is a hellscape. I was selling one of my boys' dirt bikes. It's easily a $6,000 dirt bike. I had it on for $55,000. I was going to take $5,000, and the goddamn offers you get. $2,000 cash today, and they always put cash, like as if that's going to make me sell a $6,000 bike for $2,000. And is this item still available? When I posted my ad, the very first sentence says, if you are reading this, it is still available. 10 times a day, is this item still available? Lowball offers. Oh, and trades. People always wanted to trade. Hey, I've got an 06 Mazda 3. Do you want to trade that for the dirt bike? It's just... Yeah, it was not a good experience. Probably worse than Craigslist, in my opinion. Anyway, I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah, he doesn't like it, man. He says you are wrong about Facebook Marketplace.
No, I said it was a hellhole.
But I thought you said it was a little bit better than Craigslist.
It is. Josh knows that it's better than Craigslist. Craigslist. Now, the only thing about Craigslist, you don't get all the messages as much. And because Facebook made it easier and then literally put a list, you just have to one-click a sentence. You don't have to even type it. That's why you get there so many, is this still available? I thought about in my post, because I see that when I'm looking, people say, like, don't ask me if this is still available. If this post is still up, it's still available. That will not stop people.
Well, does it work for you? So start with yourself. You start with yourself, right? When you read that and you read the ad and it says, if you're reading this, it is still available. Do you go, no, it's still available?
I never hit the, is this still available?
So how do you conduct business? Walk me through it.
I type, is this
still available? You mother effer. I hate you so much.
No.
I hate you so much.
But I don't type the exact sentence.
So you make a couple. So I'm like, you still got it.
I said, is
still
this
down.
still for sale?
Still there. Hi.
So I asked the same thing, but I want them to know that I just didn't hit the button.
So you do custom.
Yeah.
You do custom.
Yeah, I do a custom.
Okay.
Is this still for sale?
All
or
right.
do you have
Hold on. You brought me back around with it being custom. I apologize. I don't hate you.
But
I'll take that back.
I don't ask if they said in their post, but the reason why I didn't put that when I'm selling my stuff is that people will still ask, is it still available?
Yeah.
And it's more.
Do you answer them?
It's more egregious if you put it in your description. Because now,
so you're saying it's passive aggressive.
Now they're effing with you.
So it's like passive aggressive. Like if you hit the button,
I didn't even read what you wrote. So it's more of an insult if you put it in your post because it will not stop the "is this still available" things.
That's fair. That's good to know. That's good to know.
But and also,
out of all of them, though, it's still your favorite, the Facebook Marketplace over Craigslist, over OfferUp.
Well, I like it because
Your wife dabbled in OfferUp for a while, right?
Yeah, she
Is she still selling stuff?
No, I want her to
She get out
because
of the game?
I got so much stuff.
What do you got? Let me sell some of it.
Just junk in the garage and stuff.
Well, what do you want to get rid of? What do you got?
I mean, you don't want it. You don't want any of my
Okay.
junk garbage. You don't want it.
See, but I'm a thrower awayer. Like, I don't sell anything. You know, like, I'll look at it, I'll be like, this is great. I'll put it up. Nobody wants it. Right in the trash.
So Josh does bring up a funny point where the allure of cash with one of these type of deals is not
fair.
there anymore.
Yeah.
Because
You used to be able to bring people's prices down, even at like a Magic Mall or a Flea
Yeah.
World or something. You're like, hey, man, you know, I know you're saying 20. How about 18? People's like, no, it's 20. Like
there's somehow cash.
No,
with
it does nothing now.
Now, but it's
Digital currency is just as, like you were saying it yourself
It's
this
easier.
morning. Yeah.
although there
How do
may
you
be
pay
some
all
tax.
of our vendors? Ask yourself that. As a businessman
yeah.
working in 2024.
Well, I
when
used
is-
to bring a check, but now it's
You
just all
did.
Zelle. It's all Zelle.
Yeah, like I even asked you this last event because I'm the dumb old
Or
man.
Venmo or anything.
I'm the oldest person here, and we're getting ready to go to our event. And we came here, and we're getting ready to go. And I go, "Hey, did you get some checks?" And you're looking at me like, "Checks, old man, checks."
yeah.
Like everybody
just
we're
Zelle
working
everybody.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it's not Zelle, it's Cash App. If it's not Cash App, it's PayPal. If it's not PayPal, I mean, there's hundreds of them.
Yeah, Venmo and
Yeah.
anything. So like that's what that guy when he bought Tommy's 4-wheeler, he's like, "Can I Zelle you the 1,500?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." He put in my wife's number, and then Chris was like, "Got it," and then I was like, "That's done."
Yeah.
And now,
It's so convenient.
although there are, I guess, tax implications because now you have a digital footprint of this transaction. That maybe that people don't want, like to
I mean, there
increase
are
the amount of
other ones.
you
I
know.
mean, there are other ones that are more WhatsApp-like, if that's what you need.
Yeah, no, I guess, but but I don't think it
Isn't
matters.
everything is everything going to that? Will we eventually have a more autonomous control of our digital currency, and like, will you be able to send something to me without that? Like, are there ways to do it to make it more cash-like? Because you're right, you do bring up the reason why my dad liked cash.
You could hide it from the government.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure
yeah.
your dad, God bless them both, but if there's one thing I know our dads collectively hated, it was the government, and they didn't want the government taking their cash. So when my dad would buy motorcycles, that's why when people go, why'd your dad bring home the safety deposit box or cash home to the house? My dad was bringing cash home to the house to buy vehicles and fun toys. That's why he brought the cash, because he could hide it from my mom.
And
That's
the
why he did
government.
it. And the government.
yeah.
Probably namely my mom.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
but there's no, you know,
he's not paying tax on it.
yeah, and there's no record of it. So maybe there is some still value in cash, but again, if I guess you're not worried about.
Well, young kids don't cash.
No.
If I talk, I mean, what kind of Maisie does? Maisie does hoard her cash. What do the boys do with their cash? They digital cash or cash?
They've got a piggy bank filled with cash.
Yeah,
that
so
we
does
steal
May.
from them all the time because me and Crystal run out of cash, and then
you know what I do?
And then Crystal's like, I'll remember it. I owe you. I'm like, yeah, you.
I do it for Tooth Fairy all the time.
yeah. Give your kid their own cash.
Their own
That's
money.
good.
I mean, that is it's the best, and that means you can give a lot.
Yeah.
Like I go in there, I pull out, like I said, I pull out $40. I'm like, $40. That's what you're getting, and then she's like, $40. I'm like, it didn't come from nobody.
Because they have no idea.
No.
You know. I also I found out.
How's your thumb though? Just to tie a bow on this, because I know people are going to ask.
No change. Didn't do it.
What did I tell you?
It says
what did I tell you?
It says it takes like a couple weeks, which is weird.
Yeah,
to me
I waited
too.
4 weeks on my hips. They got worse.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Although my mom and my sister, apparently this trigger finger runs in my family, because
long line of gunfighters.
It also shows how little I listen to my family or anybody really.
Yeah, your mom has been telling you this for like, I want to say like a decade.
Because when I got it, I was like, "There's something happening with my hand." I tell my mom, she's like, "I've been telling you this. I've had this my whole life. I've told you a million times." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Damn it." All right,
you know what's funny though, if we are tracing the ancestry and or bad traits that we collect from our loved ones, I don't know it's funny. I don't know the patient one for who would have been the most troubled by anxiety in my family, but I'm having to guess it's going to be the one that went to the nut house.
Yeah, it's your grandpa. Yeah. No, it's the grandpa.
The one that had a
was
nervous
the same
breakdown.
size as you.
He had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah, he went to the crazy house.
We were talking it out. I'm like,
yeah.
That's probably patient one. That's where he probably started with him.
Yeah,
Because he was also a really good businessman. He was really good at stuff, but he was saddled by that anxiety.
You know, that's why the doctors ask you about your family history so much, because that is heavily linked. But when you're young, you don't see it as much. But when you're 42, and then you're like, oh, now I see. You're like, all these same problems my mom had. Like, my dad died young, so I have no idea what he would eventually had.
Yeah.
But whatever he was going to have, I probably have it.
Yeah, the confidence. You have that.
That's what killed him. Anyway.
You're able to battle your confidence a little bit better with modern medicine.
Yeah. God damn it. I don't know.
We got to get out of here.
All
Don't
right.
we take a break?
Yeah. We'll see
Is
you
that
tomorrow.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
man. We will see you tomorrow. Sorry.
I forgot that was 4. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Come on in, buddy. How are you?
Bill Bellamy was great.
He was good.
I had him the other day. And I heard that story before. I'm glad he confirmed it, though, about the P. Diddy thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I got. I just stole it from another podcast. Like him telling that
I
story.
heard it like years ago.
Oh, okay.
Like some of the guys did that were extras in the movie, because a lot of the UM guys were extras. It was the summer before I got there.
Oh, no shit.
They were doing it, yeah.
What the funniest thing about that story is, to me, what I find the most fascinating is, like, P. Diddy knew he was going to have to try out for the quarterback position, and he suited up, whatever. He didn't think to himself, like, I can't throw a football. like to have that much confidence to try out. And no, he knew he couldn't throw a football.
Oh, there's
right?
a lot of guys that have overconfidence with stuff like that. I'm like, it's a football. I can throw it. No.
Yeah.
You see it.
No, that's what I meant about our old intern. That's why I made that
Yeah,
comparison.
no, I
Because
know.
there are people that have zero self-awareness on what they can even accomplish. Like, if somebody came
That's
up to
weird.
me, like, I know how to play guitar, right?
Yeah.
But if somebody came up to me and showed me something and said, do you know how to play that? I know exactly where my skill level is. I know what I can do and what I cannot do.
Yeah,
there
yeah,
are
yeah.
some people that they're loose with that. They have no idea.
Oh, I can do Dragon Force first day play.
Yeah,
the
they
guitar.
don't know. They know that they can play, but they don't have realistic ideas of, like, where
What they
it
can
ends
do,
or
yeah.
what it ends, where it ends.
Yeah, it's in, like, if you're.
I know a lot of those people. There's a lot of those people in band.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
In marching band, there's a lot of those
It's
people.
Well, there's a lot of people like that in high school football.
Probably a lot that in football.
Yeah.
You probably had a
They're-
lot of guys that thought they were really good.
They're really
Baby Gronk.
good, and then they get destroyed.
They're not, like, worried about embarrassing themselves or something.
No,
You know
no.
what I'm saying?
It's like, I was good in rugby, and then he blows his knee out first play. Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let me make sure I got your.
I forgot my notes, so I had to like do it from my head. So hopefully I got everything. I know. I have the notes for because I had to remember the other stuff for the old school for the long
okay, for
segment,
later,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I got some good stuff.
Mr. Van, do you want to? Is this a beginning? Yeah.
Yeah, this is Tuesday 1 and 2.
Here we go. In 3, 2.
Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on YouTube and also on Twitch. Just search Tom and Dan Live. Every Monday through Friday, we record all of our shows here in the beautiful Just Call Mo studio, and we'd love for you to join us. So also, that's Twitter, that's on Twitch, and also on YouTube, Tom and Dan Live.
Also, if you want to become a BDM, that's our subscription service that we've had for over 10 years. It's a great community of people. You can get in the BDM-only Facebook. You can network in there. You get to.
You can make friends.
Yeah,
you can meet somebody, cheat on your wife, destroy your family. If you would like to do, we've had multiple.
How many marriages have you ended?
We've had multiple men and women.
We created
women.
some though.
Yeah, we created
so you're
some.
a net negative or negative positive.
Yeah,
No, we're net negative. It's more
yeah.
hardship. We've had more hardship than love connections.
I've met 2 or 3 BDMs that met at a BDM event, got married, and now have kids.
Yep, that's
like,
true.
You know, like because it's been 10 years.
That's
you know,
true.
like.
And I know people that went on one of our very first cruises, cheated on their husband or wife on that cruise, and then are still with the person they cheated on with. That's pretty good.
I was like, I'd be more impressed if
That's
they
pretty
were
good.
still with the one that they cheated on.
No,
They stayed together.
that doesn't
and
work.
he
It
hasn't
doesn't
told
work
them.
like that.
He hasn't told them that they cheated, but you knew about the cheating.
No, that's not. Look, that's not on me. But I have had women write me and go like, "How dare you?" Like, I didn't.
It's
do
your
anything.
fault, yeah.
Yeah,
The
I'm
guilt
not.
by
I
association,
haven't cheated
probably.
on nobody. I can't cheat on Andrea. Can't even control my own life.
Oh, people get mad at us as if we had something to do with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I've been
I was
yelled
like,
at
you
before.
picked him first. It's your fault.
It's your
Yeah,
husband.
so also,
Oh my
like,
God.
we just put on a party. They came and got drunk. Like, you know,
Yeah, I
it's not
didn't
like
do that.
Yeah, they cheated on their
Yeah.
cheated on you. Is that we just supplied the you're to blame Ruby Tuesdays?
Yeah, you can't blame Ruby Tuesdays.
or whatever.
Gummy bear margarita. Maybe you should blame yourself, and maybe you let yourself go. Maybe you weren't servicing him enough.
Yeah.
Is there a person out there that wants to go to Ruby Tuesdays?
I do.
Like,
I do
they
like
love
Ruby Tuesdays
Yes.
for years.
Me
My
and-
father loved the salad bar.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Andrea Dennis and
My
Dan
dad loved
Dennis.
it.
We love a good salad bar. We are pro Ruby Tuesdays, much like we are pro sweet tomatoes.
All right,
I prefer Chili's.
let's get into it.
Here we go.
Jack. Nerds. Jack. Nerds. Jack. Nerds.
Jock, nerd, jock, nerd.
Jack.
It is Nerd Jock with EJ. How you doing, EJ?
Good. I just got back from New York. I had a good time.
Nice.
That was fun.
We didn't
Pokemon
ask. We
Fest.
didn't ask.
Yeah. We don't care about your life. We just need you to tell the
me,
stories.
He's
the
leading
stories
us. He was leading us. I
Yeah.
just got back from New York, did Pokemon Go Fest. We don't effing care. You can take that first story and flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, just give us the stories.
Get the stuff so you can make comments
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
I'm a
it's
straight
It's called
man. You guys
Nerd
be mean
Jock.
to me. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, like, but tell us a little bit about it. 'Cause
No.
Is there
you know,
anything
let's
different?
do the jock stuff. And
No,
get
no,
that out of the
don't
way.
let us hurt your
'cause
feelings.
No,
Come
you guys
on.
probably get the queued up national anthem. You want to make fun of the lady.
No.
Let's do
I don't
that
want to make
first.
fun of the lady. I have a different take on that.
You have a different.
Yeah,
oh, you
I-
think it's on purpose
I
to get advertising?
I don't think that really.
It's a Carl Lewis.
And then,
Uh-oh.
like, we've got a couple listeners. Charles, who's in there, he's saying that it's not her fault, that she was supposed to have some sort of auto-tune on there, and that it would have been the production staff. My angle on that, Charles, would be, if you're singing the national anthem, you shouldn't have auto-tune. That's just,
Yeah.
I'm always a big
Yeah.
believer. Like, I can sing the national anthem alone. She should be able to sing the national anthem freestanding and alone.
Yeah.
No auto-tune, that's on her. And if you're choosing auto-tune before you do the national anthem and it
Do
gets
a
messed
sound
up,
check.
well, if it gets messed up, it's on you. It is on you because you were the one choosing
Yeah, you should
to
have
use
tested it
auto-tune.
first.
And I don't think you should do that. It's disrespectful to do that.
Well, technically, it's the Home Run Derby or MLB that chose this person to sing. You're supposed to choose a singer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Isn't she a singer?
we've done this before.
Well, if she needed auto-tune, then she's not really a singer, right?
Right, we've done this before. Like Kay Rollins, back in the day when things are a little more hands-on. I don't know how they do it now, and I would imagine she doesn't do it now because she's, very high-profile lady in soccer. But we would choose them ourselves. That's why you would get a lot of people that we knew and we know can crush it, like Naomi Bradshaw.
Yeah, a
You
singer.
know, the reason you'll see her at Orlando City singing it so many times is because she's really
professional.
effing good at
Yeah.
it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it is very, very hard to do. Now, this particular girl, I've listened to her country music and everything, and here, I'll give you a little.
Is her country music have auto-tune, or can she actually
No,
sing?
she can sing. Like,
Okay, then she can sing the national
she
anthem,
can,
right?
here,
Probably not her
I'm
style.
just gonna give this to you. Also, I want you to hear this. This MLB announcer at this park is so good. Here, check this out. We'll put this up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able and kindly remove your caps for the presentation of our nation's colors.
Hey everybody!
It's Harry Carey. He's back from the dead.
Rise if you're able. Please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, I love this guy. This guy's freaking great.
By the Texas Department of Public Safety Honor Guard.
Other guy.
All right, they're presenting the colors here. Here she is.
Now to perform the national anthem. Please welcome four-time Grammy-nominated country singer-songwriter Ingrid Andress.
And everybody's like really being mean and saying like, "Oh, Grammy nominated." Like, dude, it's a big deal to get Grammy nominated, man. Like that is a big deal.
Yeah, well,
And then people were making the joke like, "Well, you know, she didn't win any Grammys." When have you ever put yourself out there, fat slob? When have you ever stood out in front of millions of people and done
criticize something at the same time.
No,
Yeah.
all these people
Just
are
'cause I haven't done
criticizing
it.
and they can't do it.
Yeah, but she ruined it. It's her. Like
She did. She did.
Yeah, she deserves the criticism.
She does deserve criticism,
yeah.
But I'm not saying she doesn't. But I also think that a lot of these people were going real hard.
Oh, say, can you see?
That was the problem there.
I heard. Yeah.
She
got
was
a little bad.
I think she lost her key right there on that third note. You can hear her lose it.
By the dawn's early light,
Not that
what
bad.
so proudly we hailed by the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof.
She sounds inebriated, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first thing I leaned over and said to Andrea, because I was watching this live, and this is one of the only times I've ever been able to watch something live. And then I immediately pulled up my phone, and then I just kept refreshing it. and then,
Twitter.
dude, like magic, her name came up as a hashtag.
Oof.
And you saw her trending, and I'm like, oh, it's happening. I'm watching this live, and I told Andrea, I go, sounds like she had a couple beers, right? Somebody in the chat room says, she says she's going to check into rehab. Really?
You think you're drunk?
I could see that. She sounds drunk.
Yeah, but a singer. Oh, man.
It's real bad. That was the
Whitney Houston could sing on crack.
I mean, that's how talented. That's how talented she was.
Yeah.
That's a good point, bad point, because that's just how talented Whitney Houston
Her to
was.
hers. That's not fair.
I have a
That's
feeling.
not fair.
She smoked crack for years, didn't affect her at all.
I have a feeling if we were able to have used the paddles to give one more jolt to Whitney in the coffin, she would have blasted out better music than this.
See, I'm suspicious about. Like,
they're all saying, and I haven't read this yet. The story is currently on TMZ. I'll pull it up. But she was saying she was drunk, and that is correct. You were, and you should just go with that because you sound drunk.
So the problem, I didn't know she was a country singer, right? So that when we were talking
in Texas,
because I assumed, I was like, okay, she's a Grammy nominated singer, which it could be local. Like there's always like the local Emmys and stuff. They do like other types of Grammys. There's not always like the show, the Grammys.
Yeah.
I think that's what, there's lots of different ways you could say Grammy nominated. That's not like the big time Grammy Awards. Anyway.
Yeah, she came out. This is from TMZ. This was, let's see here, about an hour ago. She said, "I'm not going to BS you. I was drunk last night." She said in a statement, "I'm checking myself into a facility today to get help that I need. That was not me last night. It was so bad." Different people are talking about it. I guess she's checking herself into rehab.
It also sounds like a publicist told her to do that.
Maybe it's an excuse,
Well, I mean, it does sound accurate, though. Like, if I'm just putting the pieces together, because, like, we live in a time where no excuse is good enough, right? We're all like, that's not what really happened. So I'm going to take you on your word. I am. I think you were drunk, you sang it horribly, and you need to go to rehab.
But does being drunk affect your singing that much?
It can.
It can. Like if you were drunk, I feel like you could still sing.
I think you still pull it off, Daniel.
Maybe.
Like you're not gonna all of a sudden turn horrible, right? Like
no, but this though, I believe her. I think she's correct. I think she's correct. I think you guys are being a little unfair.
At first, I thought it was for publicity, and then she cooked this up. She's like, if I sing this bad, it'll be a huge story, and people will know my name, right? And which happened. It's being talked about. It's trending.
I mean, it's not a.
If she did it well,
See,
it would have been nothing.
I
So-
can't even say this because I'm too
But-
old to say this, but this is one of the better things that could have happened to her in launching this new single.
Yeah.
I mean, if she was drunk, and if let's say she is going to rehab, let's say we believe her face value and she's going, well, then go to rehab, release your single, and you'll be okay.
But the problem, though, and why I'm backtracking a little bit, that this was like a planned publicity stunt, is that she's a country singer. And a country audience don't like,
Right.
Mess up
you're
the
messing
national-
up the national
No,
anthem.
no,
and
it's
singing
the
it.
worst thing you can do.
Yeah. So this is
It's
bad.
why she locked all her comments too.
If this was like, if she was like a pop star, which I originally thought she was, then I was like, yeah, you could probably get away with it. But country music, this hurts your
your rep
the
and
bottom
that-
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she extended an apology to Major League Baseball, sports fans, and the entire country for her performance. I'll let y'all know how rehab is. I hear it's super fun. You know what? Another thing that I added into this is like this is the type of thing where if you're going to do it, and this is why I believe she was drunk, is that most people that I talk to, most normal people that are living their lives as Americans, we were all kind of taking each other's temperature over the past couple of days because it's been weird, right?
Yep.
There's been bad stuff. So you would think that in checking the temperature of the nation and then doing the most important song at America's pastime, that you would probably put it and give it your full effort.
So you think she
And
just overdid it while she was getting
I
prepped
think-
for this?
I-
I needed to have a little bit.
I think
to
she
get
was
the
drunk.
cut- The
Yeah.
the edge
I do
off,
believe it.
And then you
I
went
do
too
believe
far.
it.
Although
Because I don't want to be this
I-
person anymore. I'm so sick of it.
Be
That's
cynical?
not good enough.
I
Give
don't
me
know.
more. No, I'm
but
not
we've been
doing
lied
that.
to so much. I have to be cynical about
This
everything.
doesn't
Yeah,
seem
but-
like lying, though. It seems like it's adding up.
if you forget the words, that seems like a drunk
It
thing.
seemed like
but
she did
not
get
being,
some of the words wrong. I think in the
She
beginning.
missed a couple words.
Yeah, I think she did miss a couple words.
But yeah, the singing poorly though, I've never heard of a singer saying that their poor performance singing was caused by alcohol.
I mean, I've done it on the show before.
What?
I've had instances on this show where I'll go back and listen to what I'm saying, like earlier on in the show when I was drinking during every show, and I'd be like, "Oh man, that's not good."
You know where you're slurring and stuff like that. I bet, can you? Is this a version of like
slurry to me.
singing?
Yeah, that's what that sounds like. Or
Yeah.
long talking. We've all known people that long
God.
talk when they, are under the influence.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Also, you could just tell people you're checking yourself in the rehab. Never go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, let me see what in a week if she's
Well,
still in rehab.
Here would be my critique of this. I think that's too much. Like, I think if
Go
she
to
were
rehab.
going to handle this, the play would have been to come out and say, I drank too much. I was drunk. I was excited, and I drank too much, and I'm very sorry. I think saying that you're going to rehab
Is a
maybe
step too far
maybe
for me.
paints a little doubt towards what Tom's saying.
Yeah.
Now, hold on a second.
Well,
I
that's-
think
yeah.
if you just kept it in the middle and just said, like, I was drunk, I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
and
but you have,
leave it-
to, you have to make people think you have a problem and a disease.
Well, then they feel sorry for
Yeah,
it.
so you can bring-
If
yeah,
you were
save
just,
yourself.
well,
yeah.
why aren't we allowed to make mistakes anymore?
Not allowed.
Yeah, but people are doing like
But
you
that's-
guys are kind of doing it where like she's giving the excuse and like I don't know. It's like why aren't we allowed to just say like I drank
No.
too much of the game and I screwed up the anthem?
Her career, in my mind, is over. No second chance. Hey, listen, you had your chance, and now let someone else
dead
go.
to me. You're dead to me. I like
She should just go with Tenacious D and sing with them this
Like,
week.
Yeah. Kyle Gass, you're dead
Kyle
to me.
Gas, let her take Kyle
You're
Gas'
dead to
spot.
me. We don't joke about stuff like that. We don't make jokes. What are you, a comedy singing duo? Get
Yeah.
You're a comedy duo? Get the hell out of here.
Making a
Especially,
joke too soon. Come on.
like, especially if you
In Sydney, they're very conservative in Australia.
There's-
They love guns. There's no guns.
lots of people that would love to have even the success that she's had,
Oh,
and like
yeah.
the opportunity to get the singing
Oh, this is
national
huge
anthem.
publicity.
Yeah, and the fact that she just got drunk before, like, didn't get drunk after you sing it. Right?
Yeah.
like
you can make a good decision to get drunk.
Like you had your opportunity and you screwed it up for yourself.
Yeah.
Career's over.
Well, I mean,
Well, talking to the home run derby, the guy that won it was from the Dodgers. It's the first time the Dodgers won.
Yeah.
You guys talked to that one guy earlier.
I turned it off as soon
yeah.
as my player was out. Ozuna was out from the Braves, as
Yeah.
he's affectionately known. I turned it right off.
Do they still put the kids out there catching?
Yeah.
But you know what's really cool? Like maybe you would have liked this part because I know how much you like your family. But it's cool to see the baseball players like act like humans with their family and their other players. They're all like playing jokes on each other, playing pranks. Their kids are out there. Their wives are out there. Their dads are out there. Their grandmas are out there.
Having them mic'd up and like,
it's cool.
I was supposed to win this anyways.
Yeah,
Keep it moving.
It's cool. And they're giving each other stick and being really mean to each other.
It's
like
very
Jock. When they don't do well, it's super Jock. They're like, oh, you suck real bad. Like they're giving it's neat.
You got a hold of that one.
I like it. Like my wife got me into baseball. I'm glad I'm into baseball. It's not for everybody. It is very slow paced and very nostalgia based, but I enjoyed it last night. That was fun.
Did any kid get hit in the head like they did last year? I remember this Nerd Jock where we talked about it last year.
Yeah.
Some kid got nailed
he tried to
in the
catch
face.
one and it hit him right in the face. Yeah. I didn't see any of that.
No, I didn't see any of that, but I did. Like there were some big boy bombs, like 480, 475.
Huge,
It's pretty fun. You know what's interesting about that? And Andrea offered a very interesting question. So the way they do the home run derby is it's you, obviously the hitter, and then you have to select somebody who's going to be your pitcher.
Yeah.
And Andrea's like, it's so inconsistent because normally the reason the person wins is going to be their pitcher.
Yeah.
It's not going to
the ball in the right place.
Why not use a ball pitching
Like a
machine
jugs
to keep
machine?
it consistent? Why? And she asked that. She goes, why don't they use just a consistent pitching machine and then let the guys decide who wins it? And I go, no, that's all part of the nostalgia.
No, you have to get like Cal Ripken throws a couple pitches out there. So if you play for the Orioles, you get that guy throwing to you, and it brings the nostalgia
but
back.
why
and
not?
everything. Yeah.
Why not make it consistent so you can really see who's the best hitter?
I think because it's more just about the entertainment of them hitting the
Yeah,
most
no,
home
I
runs.
agree.
So if you had a pitching machine, like they probably wouldn't hit as many home runs because you get used to the pitcher that's pitching you the ball, and you practice it, and then the pitcher knows exactly where to put it. That you're going to hit the a home run most likely every time or whatever, and that's because that's all it's about. Like they want to see the most home runs possible. For the home run derby.
Damn, Grady Seasons is telling me. I mean, this is related, unrelated, but he's saying Kyle Gass from Tenacious D was just dropped by his talent agency.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
rough.
a lot of repercussions.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, you would think that they would understand that he's a satirist, but okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
So what else next?
Next strategy. Let's go Copa America at the Miami Gardens Stadium at the Hard Rock. Did you see that? Where all the people were rushing the gates and like climbing through the ventilation system.
How did they not know? I mean, not to say that we've had some pretty huge security gaps over the past couple days, but how do you not know that the most popular final with the most concentration
Argentina
of fans,
and Colombia, they're
how are
definitely
you not
going to
have that locked down? In Miami, where we know things go perfectly every time they do something.
Well,
or is this just the Miami way?
It's the Miami way, for sure. Everyone knew they didn't have tickets. They're like,
Dude,
we're
it
just
was
going
like
to
an
rush.
hour and a half
We're going to
late.
rush the gate.
I had to turn it off. I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. I got to go to
We're
bed.
going to rush the gate just so we could get into the game. They can't stop all of us, is what they thought.
Well, it's true. Like if even in an NFL game, wherever game, they don't have enough security guards to stop 70,000 people if they all wanted to rush inside the stadium.
And that's what they did. Yeah, that's what they did.
Like everybody could do this in every event, and this would, and you'll get in because they're not going to hire an army of security guards.
Yeah.
Is this why you were trying to get everybody to stop paying taxes and they can't stop us?
If we all don't pay taxes, they can't get us all.
We can all destroy the country if we want to do it.
I'm down. Let's do
If everybody
it.
got together.
Civilization is only
Organized chaos.
There's only one policeman for every 300 citizens or more.
Yeah, there were 800 cops. there.
It's
So
not enough.
I mean, it's a
not
lot,
enough,
but it's not. It's a lot, but it's not.
You can stop one entrance. That's it. The rest of them are just open.
What I like the most, I saw some videos on TikTok of the people storming in there, is when you hoist up your 6-year-old
to a stranger
over the fence, and they're holding the 6-year-old holding on to the side of the concourse.
He got up.
And they're like,
he got up too.
and doing that move where you're scraping your feet up and just
Well,
trying
he
to walk.
kicked his Crocs off. He kicked his Crocs off. His dad had to throw his shoes up after he scaled the wall.
You're like, I'm committing a crime with my baby, and I'm putting my baby first.
Yeah, I would do that. My daughter,
I would throw my son
daughter's
over,
away from me right now. I miss my daughter so much. You know how much
me
fun it
too.
would be to commit crimes with my daughter right now.
So what ended up happening? Because
They just cleared
They
it. Restarted
they stopped it. They're like, okay, we're gonna have to delay, and we're gonna check every ticket.
Yeah.
If you're in a seat, you should be fine. But if you're in the aisles, you got to go.
Yeah, they did what they do sometimes when you get into a bar too fast when they're flipping it to put another band on.
Oh,
and they're like,
okay.
sorry, we got to clear everybody out. Then
Yeah,
you
yeah,
walk
yeah,
outside,
yeah.
all right, come back in. And they check your ID again and get you back in there. Pain in the butt, an hour and a half late.
I would have screamed, storm it again. Because
there's a lot less.
hoisting my baby up there.
You want to do it again?
Yeah, but there's already 60,000 people in there. You're
Yeah,
only
I
getting
know.
10,000
Yeah,
this time.
they
So
were
it's going to
already-
be a little bit easier to
They
stop
were already
you.
loading people in there, and apparently it was only one gate.
Yeah.
So the other ones were actually almost ready
My
to
favorite
go.
is just watching everyone videoing it as it's going
Another
down.
thing that was funny was listening to the newscasters, the sportscasters that were bringing it to us while we were watching the final, and they realized they were doing it live, and they're like, well, we've just gotten word that we will be delayed by another hour. So let's roll that package. They had nothing. They had absolutely nothing to say. They'd burned
Those poor
everything to
guys.
talk about. So they kept playing the same packages again. Oh man, what a nightmare!
Yeah, in Miami, I was just down there for 4th of July.
Yeah.
Like I grew up there, I have nostalgia with Miami. Every time I'm back there, it does feel like home for me. But it is closer to another country than it is the United States.
sure. Yeah.
Like if you spend some time down there, you're like,
But I wanna say
this is
something-
interesting.
It's just different. Like, I want to say something interesting about the game, though. It's like, I know everybody was like, oh, this is a nightmare. This is terrible. Okay, I get it. But I will say that actually being there during the match with that many people, with that energy, would be really fun.
Yeah, it'd be fun to be there.
I mean, it's not going to be convenient to be there.
Yeah, it would
but
be horrible to deal
I
with
mean,
the
the
crowd.
energy of being in that style soccer match with fans that are that passionate about it is something I want to do. I just don't, I don't want to be an hour and a half delayed or be in harm's way, but it does sound
smushed against the wall.
I'd love to be there with my family with where it's like everybody's Argentine and we're just screaming like that would be awesome, man.
I wonder how, because people obviously went down there knowing they'd have no tickets, right?
Yeah.
So did they think like I'm trying to scalp tickets? Like who came up with like, hey, let's just try to get in there,
Well,
just
no,
storm the
it's
wall.
what they do it online.
Yeah.
You'll just find you'll be in a soccer group online Reddit. And you'll say, "Hey, we don't have tickets. We're all meeting. 70 of us are meeting by this. We're
And
meeting
then we're just
at
gonna
the,
run in.
The,
Okay.
we're meeting
So
at
it
the
was
bar.
It wasn't like an impromptu
No.
storming. It was like a planned.
I would imagine it was. I don't know.
and then
that.
when some people started to, that's when everybody is.
Yeah, everyone
mob
decides to do it.
mentality.
don't take me on face value of that. I'm just telling you that. But from everything that I've seen, when people do these type of things, it's an orchestrated online digital thing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the
like
one
when you take over the Family Dollar and you storm it and you steal everything in there, you've orchestrated it digitally online.
Yeah. And then there's some people standing around there like, well, I'm gonna run into the
Yeah. And then you get
They're
caught
doing
up,
it.
Yeah,
I'm
I would.
missing out.
I get caught up in the act. You get caught up in the
FOMO.
fun. I'm sorry, I got caught up in the fun.
I'm gonna fill my pockets with Chinese garbage.
I would. I would steal some candy. If I was in the Family
Some
Dollar
Butterfingers or something like
and
that.
they did a takeover,
Yeah.
I would probably put some Twizzlers or something in my pocket. I would. Just to say I did it. Because the last thing you want to be is the guy inside the Family Dollar when they storm it and you walk out with nothing as a cops get there.
Yeah, I'm gonna start kicking over the shelves. I like that because I
I've always wanted to do that.
I like destroying the inside of the
before
place
I die,
for no
before I
reason.
die,
You
write
wanna
this
be in a
down.
riot?
Yeah.
Write this down. No, that's
Oh,
not what I said.
okay.
Before I die, write this down.
Okay.
I'm throwing a McDonald's cash register at a human before I die.
All right. Yeah.
I see it.
They won't have
I
it
see it
anymore.
on
It'll be
Reddit.
like a touch
I see it
screen.
on TikTok. I see it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
And if you don't do it at your funeral,
Yeah, I want you to throw it at my head. No, you
Day
throw it
of
at my head.
corpse.
Yeah,
Throw it
yeah.
at my head.
In
Put
the
a McDonald's
casket.
hat on me. On my I'll be in my
I'm like,
coffin.
this is a dying wish.
Put the hat on me, and then put a little note in my hand that says, "I'm sorry, sir. What?" And throw the cashier. Throw the
The
cash.
ice cream machine is
Yeah.
not working.
Throw the cash
Ah!
register right at my makeup face. All right, what else you got?
Okay, the other thing I got is Travis Kelce. He hit 2 people playing in a charity golf tournament.
no, really.
This is why I would never play in a charity golf tournament, especially if I
Well,
was
you'd
famous.
never play in one because you're not famous.
I'm not famous. That's
Yeah.
the first thing. But I was always afraid of like when they line the fairway, and they always get hit. It never fails.
Yeah.
And he nailed 2 people. One
Well,
lady in the back of the head and another one in the shoulder.
Well, if you're a good golfer, you're not going to hit anybody.
Yeah, well, I'm sure like these guys, a lot of NFL players, they do play
They're
golf,
decent golf players, yeah.
but also they're just like average Joe golfers where they,
Yeah. You're gonna
some
slice
they're
it
gonna
every
mess
once
up,
in a while, yeah.
And if you see like I mean, plenty of times, like we're watching a golf tournament, and especially with, like Tiger Woods or someone, like when there's that much of a crowd, like they're standing like 6 foot from him, and then like there's only a tiny
like 10 yards
window
in between
and just a sea of humanity, and I'm like, man, that must be stressful, like. Because this is not how you practice, so you like being in that situation. You're like, like I can nail someone.
But
easily.
Isn't it
going
on
on the
them?
tee? It's going like 80 miles an
when
hour
it-
too.
When it's quiet and they tell you, you know when the person's hitting. I think it's kind of on you. Not to sound
Not
like
paying
Tom on this
attention?
one, but like any professional golf match that I've been to, and I've been to 3.
Yeah. Well,
you
they're
know
so
when
good,
they're
yeah.
hitting, and you look around, and if the ball's coming, like you know it's coming. You're not. It's not like it just comes out of nowhere and kills you.
Yeah, but when off the drive though, it's just a line drive into the crowd.
It's coming hard too.
Yeah.
See, like it's 80 miles an hour. Even if you're paying attention, it's still hard to get out of the way.
Has anybody
Especially
ever been
if there's a lot of
killed?
people around you.
Somebody's had to have been killed at a PGA event, right? Hit by a ball and dead.
I
don't think so.
know. I mean, been
I could ask Hard
injured
Drive.
multiple times, but
I didn't. I did a bunch of research on athletes dying. That was what my next segment's going to be all about.
I think you can.
I didn't see any golf stuff. I saw a lot of other things.
I think if someone like the speed the ball comes off a professional golfer's driver could technically kill someone
If it
you
hits
hit
you right, yeah.
in the temple or whatever. But maybe it's never hit someone right in the exact place.
This is from Hard Drive. Let's
There
see
have been no recorded instances of anyone being killed at a PGA event by a golf ball. While golf balls can cause serious injuries, PGA events have safety protocols in place to minimize such risks to both players and spectators. If you have any other questions or need further information, feel free to ask.
Why are you telling me that? I know I can. I pay for you. I
you're
can
my
do whatever
slave.
I want. Yeah. What are you
Don't tell me I can do what I can do.
I'll do whatever I want to you.
Yeah. Like my slave doesn't have to tell me if you ever need anything from me. I know.
Hey, just so you know,
That's why you're alive, slave. You're a slave. I know what you're there for. Anyway, what else?
The next story I have is NCAA football is coming back, but it's not called NCAA football. It's called college football this year on from EA Sports.
I got it. Yeah, I downloaded
Did
it
you get
last night. Yeah.
Did you did you get the deluxe package
I
where you
got
can play it today?
I got it for free because I ordered Madden so far in advance, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah.
Like, because I always play Madden. So it just automatically started downloading. I have yet to play it. I don't know really anything about it. I just downloaded it. You know.
It hasn't been out since 2013
Yeah.
because the NIL finally went through, so now they can pay the players if they're going to be in the game.
Yep.
So this is
You get $600 and a copy of the game.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
well, it's better than nothing. I
It
guess.
is better
Yeah.
than nothing. It's
Yeah.
true.
But
because I didn't get anything. I was in the game.
The fact that they dropped NCAA is a tell to me because I've heard this on podcasts. I don't know too much about it, but I've heard people that obviously know sports talk about there's no need really for the NCAA, and they're talking about just getting rid
Abolishing
of
it,
it.
yeah.
Like you know, they let these colleges just manage themselves and like
Yeah.
get the NCAA. What are like people
Just
are
be a
quite-
free for all.
What is the NCAA doing now? Like now that the colleges can pay the players or whatever, and it's like, and they have don't need it. I guess
Right.
some people probably
it's like
make
the
the-
FCC.
It'll just be the conferences is what's going to be in charge instead of the NCAA.
Do they look out for college players' best interests?
No, of course not.
Okay,
I don't think anybody's ever looked after
No.
college.
So
kids'
It's
best
a money
interest.
grab every single time.
So
Come
they
on,
don't-
let's be serious.
No, you were a college football player. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that maybe they had some interest in like kind of like in the NFL,
Like the Players
the
Association.
players,
NFLPA,
like,
yeah, no.
the PA. So then nothing like that. They don't.
No, it's for the colleges to make money.
Okay,
Yeah.
but the NCAA is a separate business. Then
It's a brand.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say it's not a brand.
Yeah, and then that business really is becoming obsolete. Or you could make the argument it already is or whatever.
Kind of not. You still got to make sure that all the conferences kind of work together. That's the only problem. Like especially if you want to have a postseason. If you don't have that, then nothing's going to work out. You're just going to have conferences and you'll have
How would
like
they even
a
start?
bunch of minor league teams is what you're going to have.
How would they start in getting rid of that? Yeah, like where would your dividing lines be if you were to get rid of something?
Everything
like
becomes the
NCAA?
SEC would probably be it.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
were
only
talking
thing.
about
It would
that.
just,
yeah,
everything
just
would be the SEC, and then they
one
divide it up
conference.
by parts of the nation.
So
maybe.
I wonder if that would
Because it
That
always
is interesting.
I am not a college football, person, so I don't know all about it. But
Yeah.
it always does confuse me, especially when I'm trying to bet on it. Like what conference? There's so many different conferences, and I'm like,
Well,
who?
it's getting less and less.
It is getting less and less.
There's Power 5 is what's left.
But like all these different conferences, I'm like, what is this? Like, why is there so many?
Right,
and then
right.
and
it's
like
mostly
confusing.
because of traveling. They didn't
Yeah.
want to have the student athletes traveling so far each time. So that's why they kind of kept the conferences would be certain geographic locations. So like the SEC would be the Southeastern Conference. So
Yeah.
Southeastern United States.
Yeah. No, I understand. And there's just so many colleges
Yeah.
that they have to break it up in some way. And then, like, obviously, you want all the actual good teams playing each other.
Yeah.
Instead
It's like
of
the divisions
money,
in the
you do.
NFL.
Yeah.
All the divisions like the AFC North and the AFC East and South and West.
Yeah. And then maybe in a certain amount of time with the NIL deal and stuff, and colleges being able because now like all the best players aren't just going to Alabama, they're going to whoever pays them the most.
Yeah.
And then that will make the competition probably better. It diversifies the players more,
Hopefully.
and then you're not going to just have like some Alabama winning the national championship every year, right? It's already changed.
That's what you would hope. Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah.
DJ?
What else you got?
The only thing I got left is the Olympics. And we talked about it a little bit last time I was here.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the trials, and
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Did they finally clean up that river, or have they still been pooping in it to make sure the mayor can't get into it?
Wait, what?
Have you heard that story?
No, I forget the story.
So they're gonna run the triathlon in the Rhine, which is the river that goes through there, and it's a disgusting river. You should never be in that water. It's
It
like
goes
being
through
in
France.
It's being like New York and going in the Hudson. You don't want to be in there.
It smelled well. It's not
Does the
really
whole
the river.
smell like poo-poo pee-pee?
No, it's pee-pee, but it's not from the river. It's from people peeing on the
upstream,
side.
yeah.
Well, no, not
Can't
even.
you stop it? You gotta lock them up.
It's the peeing on the side because you could walk down to the river
and then people just walk down to the river and pee on the side of the
because
river?
they're drunk. Not on the side of the river, but on the walls next to the river. So it all
It just
smells like
drains
pee-pee
into
there.
it, yeah.
And so in the subways
Well,
in
why
Paris.
why don't you just arrest those people and stop them from doing that?
Well, because the public restrooms cost money to use.
Yeah.
So
It's like
it's
€1
a homeless.
just use the bathroom.
It's homeless. The homeless, the bums
you
pee-pee
gotta
everywhere.
start hitting them or slap them around a little bit. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But did you hear the story? The mayor's like, we're going to have it clean. And I'm going to get it on this date. And then they started making websites to have them poop in the river, upriver for it. And so it would float down while she's in the river.
They spent a lot of money trying to clean the river.
They did, yeah.
It is like rivers in cities.
Nothing makes me happier than when you guys go to other countries and then you come back and tell me about how it smells like poo-poo. It makes me laugh. I'm just like, yes,
man.
all right.
So we got any nerd things?
Definitely got some nerd stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about, did you see the new trailer for Captain America, Brave New World? It just came out, and they showed the Red Hulk in the trailer, which was amazing.
Red Hulk.
Yes.
Now, who's the Red Hulk?
Red Hulk is played by Harrison Ford now. It was supposed to be by...
Harrison Ford.
Yes.
Old man.
I'm old Red Hulk.
He's all CGI.
Big red
when he
wave,
becomes the
Red Hulk.
That's why he took the job. He doesn't have to do any like the physical stuff. He's just the face.
Does
and
he
the-
have his
and the voice
earring?
actor.
Does Red Hulk have one earring?
I don't think so.
Does Red Hulk also fly his tiny plane under big jumbo jet? Does Red Hulk accidentally cause an airline pileup?
Does
So-
he yell at Borat?
Yeah.
So the storyline of Red Hulk is how did he become the
Yellow
Hulk?
Hulk, Clint Eastwood.
Okay. In the original story, General Ross, who was the guy that
General
was,
Ross, I know him.
he was against the Hulk. He was the guy that, and then he ends up taking the super soldier serum and becomes the Red Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys aren't embarrassed of this yet? You
No,
see where we're at now.
I'm excited about
Nobody's
this
embarrassed
one.
of this yet. We
See,
went through the whole Marvel thing, and I let you guys
Giancarlo
have it.
Esposito's going to be it.
We
He's
did
going
the
to
whole
be
thing.
GW
We
Bridge.
did the Infinity Gauntlet, the whole nine, and now we're at Red Hulk, and you guys aren't embarrassed yet?
Now-
No,
Nobody's
Red Hulk's
embarrassed.
amazing.
Okay,
We're still all in on this?
So
This is for children.
I've watched a lot of the Marvel movies
Yeah,
with
I
my
know you
sons.
did.
I've gotten past in the end game, and now
Where are you at now?
We're basically
So you
at
got
the
the end
end.
game. So you saw William Hurt, the guy that played William Hurt. His character, because William Hurt died, Harrison Ford took over, and that's the reason it's the same character, General Ross.
Okay. Well, what I was going to ask you about is Captain America, because spoiler alert if anybody hasn't seen one of these movies, but like there's a scene in there. Captain America decided to like
he gives up the shield and gives it to Sam Wilson.
Yeah. And then he gets old, and he's like, he was old man, so he's about to die. So
he went back in time and lived out his life with Peggy Carter.
Yeah. So then,
which I would too.
So
Haley Atwell's
where
amazing.
does this story?
It takes place after that.
Okay, so there's no.
So Captain America is not Steve Rogers; it's Sam Wilson because he pissed on the mantle. It was also about the storyline that was in
Did you just
Falcon
say what
and the
I
Winter
thought
Soldier.
you said?
No, he
Were you
passed.
talking about the French?
No, he passed. He said passed.
No.
Yeah. So so it's a new Captain America, Red Hulk. Now I'm sure Red Hulk fights Green Hulk.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it. Christmas Hulk.
Is there any in?
There's also a Blue Abomination. That
What's
was in
the
the
Blue
comic books.
Abomination?
Abomination. It was played by
So
Rick
they're all
Jones.
different colors.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different
There's a
colors.
yellow Hulk,
There's
right?
an orange Hulk as well.
What's Orange Hulk do?
I don't know.
He's
It's
Florida.
been a while since I've seen that.
He's Florida
Yeah.
Orange Hulk.
There's
He
a
loves
bunch
it.
of them. Yeah.
Yeah, this is stupid. You guys are babies. You guys should be like the fact that we're a Red Hulk and you guys are still gonna
Hello,
like
they did-
Marvel and I'm here.
They've
okay.
done it in both
You should be
universes,
sad.
whether it's Green Lanterns and Red Lanterns
be
and Blue Lanterns.
Be
Yeah.
embarrassed of yourself.
Yeah.
You literally
It's
should be embarrassed of
entertainment.
yourself.
That's great.
No, horrible.
What's the next nerd story?
The next nerd story. Let's go with also another trailer. Agatha All Along. This is the Catherine Hahn vehicle that was after WandaVision.
What is it called?
Did you see WandaVision?
I watched WandaVision.
Okay,
Yeah, but it
remember
confused
Agatha,
Tom.
the old witch that was at the end of that?
Yeah.
This is her series, and Aubrey Plaza is going to be in it as well. There's a lot of characters in it.
All right.
Is this a snarky, funny one now?
Yeah, I
Since
think
Aubrey
so,
Plaza's in there.
Yeah.
And
'cause
what does
it's like-
Agatha the Witch do? What does she do?
It sounds like she's going to try to go down the witch's road and try to like come back after Scarlet Witch after this. Even though Scarlet Witch supposedly died in Doctor Strange 2.
Oh
but who knows?
Jesus
So-
Christ in a crutch.
This is it's gonna make me sound bad. So
Okay, all right, I like this.
Let's go.
I like these.
Yeah,
I like
and
that.
it's not even my fault. It's just a product. I'm
Yeah,
a product
it's your
of
true
my
self.
Well, no, I'm just a product of my environment. If you want to blame anybody, you have to blame the '90s, where I grew up.
right.
Where
I don't know what you're
Where
gonna
I
say.
wasn't allowed to be a nerd, and
No,
I
no.
had to hide it when I was in high school and middle school.
No, where women superheroes were Catwoman,
They're hot.
and they
And Wonder
used-
Woman.
and they used their
They wear high
Your
side.
sexual
yeah,
wiles.
their
to-
sexual persuasion,
Yeah.
and then they're horny all the time.
Yeah, they're super strong, but their nipples are hard all the time.
And then they seduced the superhero.
That
and
did
then,
happen,
and then
yeah.
that's when they claw you.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
but there's a lot of seduction involved.
Yeah.
And then
It happens.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah. And
It's
then,
Poison
reason-
Ivy. Next thing you know, you're being wrapped up by some vines and held into a crucifix nude.
Yeah.
and then tight leather suits, and then that's what my female superheroes are.
Okay.
And then now when I come across like the Miss Marvels, so we skip
Captain
over.
Marvel,
Even my sons aren't interested, and they're not a
My
product of
son
the
is
90s.
the same way.
They're
Wasn't
my
one
daughter.
of the girls?
I'm
One,
like
of the- one
Captain.
of them was like a young girl.
Yeah, Miss Marvel. Yeah.
No, but there was another one where it was just like a young teen girl. It's like, what's her power? Like, there's no powers. It's just like, I'm a nerd. I'm like, I got no
Oh,
power.
like Riri Williams. She was the Ironheart. They were going to do a series about her, but it didn't
I
happen.
think you're talking
okay.
about Encanto.
I think I was talking about it. I'm like, what's your powers?
My power is I bring them families together. That's no power. Get out of
This
here.
girl makes flowers. This
is
girl
a
can pick
power.
up a mountain. What do you do?
It isn't a power. And in order to accomplish that, you would have had to be such a doormat to let your family all come together. Seriously, you would have literally had to give your entire body to them and be a doormat for these horrible, selfish people. What else you got?
Yeah.
Where did we go? Have you guys been watching The Boys? The season finale is going to be coming up this week.
I
It's
have
too
rough.
much now.
It's
too
rough to
much
watch.
now. It's like you got shrinking guys crawling in there, and you got this
Oh.
guy's got this,
Well,
and this
Guys
guy's
shooting webs out of his back.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
So me and Chris have been watching the House of the Dragon.
Yeah, I got
so,
some
Oh, yeah, I was
voicemails
going to bring that
about
up too. Yeah.
So we
that first opening, the ending of episode 1. Holy smoke!
no, it gets
Oh,
worse.
yeah.
It gets way
It gets
worse.
worse. Yeah, it gets a lot
Oh,
worse.
right?
Yeah.
No, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out.
And watching that, but I still have to watch Receiver on Netflix.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Daniel's been telling me, I
like
have that.
I haven't
And
touched that yet.
I have The Boys.
I'm waiting until all this stuff's done, then I'm gonna watch the Receiver.
Yeah, so there's a lot of content that I have to sit down and watch. The Receiver, my wife's not interested in it, so I have to find out some sort of time to watch
When
that.
you're by yourself, yeah.
Daniel's he's
I
smart
just do it
doing
on the
a
Peloton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I started riding the Peloton while I'm watching TV shows, which I never thought I'd get there, but here I am. I'm like old man on
That's
his
good though.
treadmill.
At least you're doing two things at once. You're at least filling your time.
It's the only way I can do it now.
That's the problem with stupid running. You can't watch it.
You can't watch anything. Yeah. Well, you can do it on a treadmill.
Yeah. It's not as good.
It's not.
It's not as good, but
Yeah,
at least you're getting the exercise in.
Yeah, but I like going outside and.
You getting that circadian rhythm.
I always
get that little bit, 15 minutes of sunlight.
I'll tell you funny. When I'm running, I run the Kewanee Trail by my house, and then it's in the morning, or whatever. And
you feel more Native American.
You just doxed yourself right there.
And
They're gonna
run
get
the
you.
trail.
You're gonna run. I run through the woods by early.
At
It's
this
still
time
dark.
of the
He
morning.
runs through abandoned buildings.
I'm not scared of anything. People are scared of people jumping. I think about it in my head. I'm
I'm gonna jump out this day.
I'm like, I hope someone attacks me. Seriously, that's what I think, because I know it's never gonna happen. But I'm like,
challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a mask.
So
in the next couple weeks.
So if you want to attack me, Kewanee Trail, 6:30,
there.
Monday through
Tuesdays.
Friday.
Be there.
Jump out of the bushes. But every once in a while I'll be running and I see a bunny and I'm like, oh, bunny. And then I'm like, gay.
There are bunnies everywhere. Yeah.
I just say that to myself to make me laugh. Then I looked at a bunny. Then I looked like I got distracted by a bunny. And I'm like, oh, bunny.
It is still cool to see one though. You see one of the you see one of the wild. You're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Get that out of here.
But then I bully myself. I'm like,
I can't point out to my kids. I do the same thing. Like, there's an otter over there.
So
we gotta get out of here.
We're not.
Oh, we didn't even get to Go Fest. Oh well.
Yeah, we're close. We're
Well,
close.
no, yeah, we got a minute.
You got a little bit
How
of
was
time.
it? You walked through.
Went to New York. Yeah, spent a lot of time in Central Park. There were so many people there. It was packed. Like the cell phone towers were getting killed in Central Park over by the arcade.
Was there as many or more than last year?
More than last year.
Really? So
yes,
it's getting
it
more
was bigger.
popular?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a lot more people at Central Park. There was a lot more people at Randall's Island, but they did split it up into 3 days and a morning and an afternoon session. So
did you get?
But it was so hot.
Did you get anything special for being there? Do you have like a special pet or?
Marshadow was the featured Pokemon.
What is a Marshadow?
It's a fighting and ghost type, and it's basically it comes out of the shadow of the Executor when you catch it.
Now, does it?
This is worse than the bunny.
All right, that's fair. Bunnies are real. Bunnies are real.
Yeah, this is nonsense. Anyway,
I also
sorry.
caught a bunch of Necrozmas. I went hard on that. I did like 200 raids. Necrozma, yeah. You can fuse it with Solgaleo or Lunala.
Now, I saw
God, it's the chemistry and combining them that makes me crazy.
The fusion, yes.
Yeah.
The BDM page was doubting that your claim that you
I think
walked.
it was Concrete Mike.
You didn't think I
Concrete
went
Mike
60
said you're a
kilometers?
lying fat ass. Concrete Mike
60 miles. 60 miles.
Well,
I did.
I was about to say kilometers aren't the same as miles.
Not the same as miles. Yeah, I meant because the game tracks by kilometers, but my
well, you
app
can change that. You
tracks
know that,
like
right? You're an
60
American. You
miles.
can change any
Yeah.
setting on any feature on
No,
your
not
app.
on the game. It has to be kilometers. In your app for health, it measures it in miles.
Okay,
so yeah.
How many miles?
60.
60.
Yeah, for 3 days.
Concrete Mike says
I did
you're
20
a lying
miles
fat
a day.
He says there's no way.
Yeah.
He says no way. He said that you would have literally been
Is
pegging the needle.
Do you have it on when you're riding the subway?
Okay, that doesn't count.
It might count a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But only if it stopped for a second. But as if you're going fast, it won't count it.
Oh, okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
But the first little slow part.
Yeah, maybe
There
like
were people in there
like
trying
20
to.
feet.
They
yeah.
want to. They want to know. They want to look at your cell phone records. They want people want answers.
I
They
bet you
want.
could pull it up.
They want. I
Yeah,
bet
yeah.
you can too, but I bet you don't.
Health. Okay, where's it at? Right there.
Now, it does, I'm kind of familiar with what it takes to even, run, miles or
You
whatever.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been
I have an
training for
idea.
that.
Think how big Central Park is. Central Park's at least 3 miles long, at
Yeah.
least. Oh, it's more than that. It's
How long were you out there?
all day
All day.
from 6 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. I was walking.
That
gave
is
me the look of
crazy.
doubt. You just gave me the look of doubt.
Where are you eating it? Like a hot dog
I was hardly
stand?
eating. Yeah, that's what pretty much all I was doing. I stopped at Chick-fil-A once.
Wait a minute. If he found
and
a
I
hot
kept it
dog
going.
stand, we know he didn't walk 20 miles, 60 miles. If there was one hot dog stand, it's like, I think I'll chill out here for a little while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like I'm sitting across from Smollett telling me how to
Oh, how dare you.
Exactly.
How
Hey,
dare
two guys
you.
with MAGA hats jumped me in an alleyway, and then they put a noose on my
I don't
neck.
know any
Like they had a
Nigerians.
noose with them. And then
Hey,
they put it around
they
their neck.
really had MAGA hats on? Red? Yeah, they had the big red MAGA hats on, and they put a perfectly tight noose on my neck, and they drug me around to the Pokestops.
Yeah. And I'm like, you're in pretty good shape. like some old white dudes beat you up. Anyway.
I have to find it.
Yeah. So
We're not gonna blow up your spot, dude. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can lie to our listeners anytime you want.
Yeah.
That's a Tom and Dan promise.
Every time you come in here, just talk about how you walked us more and more
Yeah,
miles.
let's
I got it.
make it
Sorry,
bigger.
I just checked my data. It's 65 miles.
Yeah. That's how you do
You're
it.
like, I've walked 10,000 miles since the last time I talked to you. I'm like, I was like, that's weird.
But we live at a time. We
Yeah.
do live at a time
Oh, for
where
sure.
it doesn't matter what you say. Nothing is believable.
Nothing matters.
Are Miles cheeseburgers?
You just spit all over the table after you said that.
Usually evidence of working out. I'm sorry. All right, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that's funny.
No, because the guy I was playing with, we were checking our steps. That's the reason why I know we did it. I just don't know how to do it in the past.
No. If you walk, I remember walking around fucking the
Paris.
Universal.
Yeah.
No, Universal, and then we walked 13 miles.
Yeah,
or
easily.
whatever in a
Yeah.
day, like from back and forth. Whatever. I'm like 13 goddamn miles, fucking half
Easily
marathon.
Are we doing
Yeah.
more after this?
We're
Don't we have to do the same
Yeah.
one?
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna